welcome to the Finlos Lives podcast. For everyone who has been following since the beginning of this show, you'll notice that this one is a little different. I first thought of this show as a way of discussing literature and other media, but it has since expanded with several topics, and there may be even more in the future. But for some time, I have also wanted to include a weekly show that is more open-ended, where I may discuss recent occurrences, general podcast updates, and hopefully, as the audience for the show increases, opportunities for your questions to be answered here. It's hard to believe that I've been putting these episodes together for 6 months. In that time, I have produced 20 episodes, some as short as 20 minutes, but most in the hour range. Finlos Lives is a creative outlet, a way to stay connected with people who are important to me, who have served as inspiration, and sometimes both. It's also a way for me to capture my thoughts and exchange ideas with others. For everyone who has listened in, and especially to those who have given their time to speak with me and trust me enough to record our conversations, thank you. As I think back about the episodes that I have released, each one has something that stands out to me that makes me incredibly proud of the process. The first episodes, all focused on Dune, really allowed me to wrap my mind around the writing and editing process, and also got me used to listening to myself speak. Some cliches are true. I am not a fan of my own voice, but I have gotten more comfortable with hearing it repeatedly, and I think the show has improved. The thing that surprised me most, I think, is how quickly interviews shifted to become the backbone of the show. Whether they be in the Finlos Ask series, or Finlos Teaches, or Finlos Loves, the conversations I have been able to capture have been immensely rewarding. My favorite part of creating these shows is applying a delicate editorial touch so as not to remove the heart of what a guest is saying, but rather to massage it into a cohesive flow. I also try to remove myself as much as possible so that the guest is the focus, while I am there to hopefully ask questions that lead us to interesting discussions and deeper meanings. The exception to this has been the Finlos Love series, which I co-host with Eva. Those conversations have been such a treat, and I appreciate their willingness to share the ups and downs of our relationship so that they might be able to mix those stories with professional experience for the benefit of the listeners. The Finlos Asks and Teaches series have reminded me just how fortunate I am to have such a diverse collection of people in my life. Friends, former students, noisemakers, and once aspiring musicians turned journalists have all appeared on the show. I have learned so much from each interview that has aired about the person on the other side of the conversation, as well as about myself. I do hope to get to more episodes where I discuss books or other media with folks, and maybe I'll start adding some video content as well with cooking tutorials. There are several new interviews in various stages of production, which will air in coming weeks. In any case, the show isn't going anywhere. Before I close out, I think I'll start what will become a tradition on the weekly Finlos Lives podcast, which I'll call What We've Been Watching. This week, we've been watching Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi on Disney+. There are some very strong feelings about this series from fans out there, both positive and negative, and I guess I can see why. Yeah, there are some well-trodden Star Wars tropes from rescue missions to droid buddies. There are some specific plot elements that some call retcons to moments from A New Hope. I basically just shrug at both of these complaints. I'm here for Ewan McGregor, who just completely owns this character. There isn't a moment that I doubt that he is Obi-Wan, especially in this slow burner of a series that is very much a character study of a Jedi in exile who is questioning his actions, his motives, and the consequences of things that cannot be changed. It's interesting how the show, presently 4 episodes into its 6-episode run, is putting back together this believably broken person, and how he might just become the optimistic teacher we see in A New Hope. Eva made a great observation about McGregor's ability to portray the loss that this character has experienced. If you watch him in the prequels, especially episodes 2 and 3, there are moments of mirth and mischief that come across with a smirk or a playful barb at Anakin's expense. There is a confidence in the rightness of his intent, even if he sometimes questions the Jedi Order or the motives of those who lead him. all of those things are gone, and what we see is a character struggling to find a reason to do the right things because he knows they are right, and because he has a confidence that they will ripple with similar actions from others, and not just because it's all he has left to do. I look forward to seeing how the show wraps up. That's all for this episode of Finlos Lives. If you have any comments, suggestions, or questions, please send them my way to finloslives@gmail.com or on social media. You can also leave me a voicemail message at finloslives.com. I would love to hear from you. Thanks to all of you for joining me in this. I look forward to the future of Finlos Lives and where the conversations may take us.